Yo, what's up guys, welcome back. So new Artmage support, power patron support essentially. So this is the current main deck, 47 cards, there's a reason for that. I'll come back to that in a couple of moments, but a lot of new cards essentially. A couple of new pendulums, which basically all of them trigger whenever they are added to the extra deck. So I'm looking at Electromite. Electromite adds any pendulum from your deck to the extra deck. So imagine, you know, Electromite returning to the TCG, it will give this deck a huge boost, or power patrons essentially. So let's see, very similar to rulers, they have like multiple effects, right? And you're running this card as well, Pendulum Treasure. It was a card that earlier today it got bought out in the OCG for a good reason. Because again, you know, it's only once per turn though, it's a spell, so you could essentially discard it with the field spell of your Artmages, but it's a flexible searcher, it can be an emergency teleport, well, it triggers your new pendulums. So let's see, you're running the extra decks. The extra deck monsters, the fusions, obviously the synchro, the exceed, you'll see in a few moments. Artmage has also got a new counter trap, that's this one. Again, very similar to Malice, you are able to search it with a couple of cards here in the main deck and directly set it in your first turn. And you know, whenever your opponent uses like Nip, for example, you can immediately activate it during the same turn by banishing a fusion. Let's face it, you know, for Artmages, getting out a fusion, it's not that hard. Okay, so let's see, the archetype of, well, Power Patron's got a new field spell, that's this one. Currently a one-off in the main deck. I'm not so sure, it might be more, but again, it's searchable by multiple ways, so I'm not so sure if I really want to main deck more of that. But it's a one-card combo, but at the same time easily stopped, and you have to sacrifice a card from your hand in the process. But anyway, like this new support, this field spell pivots into Medius, and you know, Medius pivots into Owl, and you can go from there. Or not, you can go for the, essentially, you know, you go through your 3 new pendulums, go for Varudras again, double level 10, basically an Omni, relatively safe for hand traps, go for your second Omni, basically your fusion. And now you're starting up your standard Artmage, you know, stuff. Going for the level 3, get stuff back from the graveyard, the level 5 is a searcher, the level 7 is the draw 1, you know how it goes, the monster effect negation. Also one of, this is also one of the new ones, the level 12 one, the big boy, right, the big pendulum, 5k attack. You can cheat it out from your grave or extra deck by, what is it, sending back 1 fusion, exceed and synchro, quite conveniently the 3 cards you're using from your, you know, Doomsday Artmage stuff. So it's not that hard to get it on the field, and it's kinda like a masterpiece, towers like a monster. But it's also nifty, it's also your searcher, a terraforming, it searches one of your power patron cards. So again, super nifty cards. We go for Medius, and this should be game though. Yeah, it should be more than enough. So the next one, we're going first. This is also one of the new ones. Essentially a Foolish Burial and Rota all in one. So with Rota's the new, and it doesn't really matter. I guess, well, it does kind of matter, the level 12, because you'll get it back later in the turn. And it searches your, what is it, Dark Fairy. Yeah, so again, Medius, but I'm looking at, what is it, Dark Lord as well. Or Aluber. Anyway. So one of the new ones, Artmage is the one that searches, very easy to get on field, search the counter trap, so now we are able to play through Nip. Again, that's something that Artmages lacked in the past, the fact that they weren't able to play through Nip or into Nip. Now they can, at a relatively consistent way. So go for Masquerina, and then, you know, lock ourselves to keep Owl on field. And then now we're just, you know, pushing the standard Artmage and the board, probably. Monster effect negation, spell and trap pop, fusion summon. We don't have Medius, so you're not able to go for the Omni negation fusion, which I guess, maybe I should have worked towards that one. Yeah, to search Medius. That was probably the correct play. Anyway, so Droplet prevents the Garanix from triggering, you know, dodging with the Phoenix. We search the field spell, essentially follow a play for next turn, if that makes sense. We're going for the big fusion, but again, against Fire Kings, you're not using the big pop effect, probably. So Little Knight is the card to go to, and we are popping the Sanctuary, Sanctum, that's the name, I think. And this should be again more than enough. So again, use a field spell, but I'm not so sure if you have any targets left. But use this extra normal summon to go for one of the new ones again. Banish the top 3 cards, then cheat out the corresponding extra deck monster here, because you know the red cheats out the fusion, and you know this triggers and teleports. So it snowballs into more advantage and bigger beatsticks. So again, super nifty. But it comes at a small cost, as in, you know, every time you're using those Pendulum Monsters face-up effects, you have to banish the top 3 cards of your deck face down. So very similar to Pot of Desires. Double Pendulum, and you actually can Pendulum Summon. Yeah. So now we try to, cheat out the fusion. It gets impermanent, which is fine, because now we can cheat out, can go for the fusion of one of the new Artmages one to try to get another search, which runs into another imper, which is fine, because again, because of the new support, we are able to keep continuing, essentially. So pivot into Medius, and you know, Medius pivots into Artmage stuff. So go for Owl, go for the Omnidication, and now we are set to go, because I think we are through the counter trap. So that's really nice. Yeah, we hard through it, so that's nice. So let's see. I guess we're working towards our standard end board. Ah, small mistake. Probably should have checked if I was able to not put Owl up first. You know, go for Masquerina first and then go for Owl. You know, popping your level 12 Pendulum, reborning a Power Patron from the graveyard, and go from there. Search Medius, just in case. I guess, because again, we can fusion summon during their turn. So let's see, we're negating the Ice Risal, Masquerina directly for Little Knight. Yeah, that makes sense. We can use Ash, we can use a counter trap to negate and destroy, and this should be more than enough. So, like, all in all, this new support, like for Artmage, like, I'm honest, like before, whenever, at least when the support was revealed earlier today, I was like, whew, how are you know, it kind of feels strange, like how are these blending with the other archetypes like Doomsday, 11 Nodes, Artmages, etc. Like you see, it's hard to keep your deck at 40 cards sharp. I mean, I think it's fine, because again, you're potentially banishing a couple of your top deck cards, but still, like all feedback is definitely appreciated to potentially lower the deck the deck amount, right? Maybe 43 or 44 might be a bit better, but I'm happy. Like, this new support definitely does stuff for Artmages. Like, whenever, like before, whenever your Medius was stopped with Imperm or Failure, now you have so many follow-up plays to play, or get your Owl on field, or keep continuing with your Power Patron. So this new support definitely helps the deck out by a lot. But again, like, the only change I want to make, maybe looking at the extra deck, but essentially are these definitely the deck out. So feel free to leave suggestions. Okay, guys, that's it. Thanks for watching. Feel free to leave a comment or like if you enjoyed the video. Leave me signing out. Peace.